Hi everyone, it's Heather from True North Spirit Medicine here today. How you going? Today I'm going to do the monthly energy reading for April 2023. Hooray! I love it when I get the date right. I've done away with my little post-it note cheat sheets. So it's a bit of a celebration. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you for sticking with me through the wonky audio. It's pretty much all sorted now, so that's good. And I hope you survived March with its wonky energy and lucid dreams and dizzy and headaches and solar flares. And did you see any of the aurora photographs, by the way? I put a couple up on my Facebook page. I follow a Aurora Australis Tasmania group, and the light was just stunning. Just stunning. I highly recommend having a look if you haven't at one of the, it doesn't have to be mine, somebody's aurora photographs. And there was heaps in the Northern Hemisphere as well. Excuse me. So I'm not going to talk too much about the astrology and the cosmology that's coming up unless it comes up in the channel. There's a lot of information out there. Just know that this time that we're in, particularly March, April, May, up to about mid-June, as I understand it, are really pivotal, important, in some ways intense times for the whole of humanity. And as I kind of understand what's going on with Pluto shifting signs and all that kind of stuff, it's one of the biggest shifts that we will see in our lifetimes, because these cycles are, thousands of years long, big, excuse me. So yeah, it's a good idea to keep an eye on things, to know what's going on, I think. Yeah. But anyway, sorry, that was a bit waffly and weird. Okay, so today I felt, because the energy is so, I want to say highfalutin, I felt like I wanted to use quite a grounded deck, and this Angels and Ancestors Oracle card deck by Kyle Gray, artwork by Lily Moses. Excuse me, my throat's been fine up until now. This deck is one of the most sort of grounded, earthy decks that I have at the moment, so I thought I'd use that. And I am going to persevere and use the Tree Magick deck again. I think again I'll draw a couple of cards from this Angels and Ancestors Oracle deck as the main deck, and maybe one Tree Magick card, even though it was a bit weird last time. But I've kind of been playing with it a little bit more. This is the Tree Magick Oracle deck by Gillian, Kemp, artwork by Emma Garner. And I do like it, but I don't know, I find the writing on the cards, the sort of above the tree writing, is a bit strange to me. But it still feels important to kind of keep using it. So we might just go with the text that's underneath the card, the main sort of indicator of the energy of the tree. I think that makes sense. Okay, so I'll draw some cards, and then I'll do the open channel-y beginning direct channel part. We're coming into autumn. We're already in autumn, but it's still really hot here in the subtropics. It's usually cooler by now. Today's a cooler, kind of cloudy, rainy, well, not rainy yet, but going to rainy day, which is quite nice because it's been stupidly hot for months. So it's a bit of a relief, which is nice. So I'm not going to spend the video whinging about the heat, which is probably a nice change for everybody, including myself. Okay, so just asking for the best, clearest, most benevolent, loving, funniest, interesting, in accordance to our highest good guidance for the people watching. That's what I'm asking of this deck right now. And I shall draw 3 cards. Nice. And I'll, oh, wait, going to pick up the other deck and draw the extra one. I'll have a look at these for a sec. Hang on. I think they might be in the right order. That's always nice. Maybe the first two swap? No, I think that's alright, actually. They're nice cards. They're really interesting cards. Okay, and then one from the Tree Magick deck. Again, the best guidance available for the people watching today, whenever your today is. Please and thank you. From the Tree Magick deck. Oh, I feel like I wanted to get one from the middle of the deck, but they're still new, so they're still sticking. You see my face, I'm like, I want another one. I don't like that one. I'll still read it though. Oh, that's better. You'll see why. Okay, and they go together, which is nice. Okay, so I'm just going to pop them over there so they're out of the way of my little table. Excuse me. Yeah, channel. I'm going to tune in, close my eyes and tune in, and see what they've got to say. I just close my eyes because I find it actually less distracting. I find it easier to focus on what they're saying if I've got my eyes closed. Otherwise I'm looking at the window going, oh, look, the tree branch needs trimming, or it's starting to rain, or, do you know what I mean? Like I just look around. It's a bit like when you meditate. When you close your eyes, you're sort of, I was going to say forced to go inwards, but it's not a force, you know, it's not a forcing process. It's an allowance. Anyway, I'll close my eyes. See you soon. They're laughing at me, they think I'm funny. Which is kind of cool. I think I'm funny sometimes too. That's silly. They're showing me them sitting around. So I've often described them, the Council of Elders in particular. I mean, I work with lots of different teams of energies, but these channels on this YouTube channel seem to be mostly this Council of Elders, and I think I've described them. Often see them sort of sitting around a big table, you know, and they've just shown me themselves sitting around this big table, and they've all got like Hawaiian shirts on and like cocktail glasses with umbrellas in them, having a lot of fun. It's quite funny. Okay. And they're like, cheers, cheers, lots of celebration, lots of celebratory energy. And they're saying, well done and congratulations to all of us, so to me and to you all included, for surviving, surmounting, surpassing the energy waves that have been coming onto the planet recently. Heather is correct in that the veils of the magnetic energy, when they hit the Earth's atmosphere, they create a beautiful shimmering dance of light that looks like curtains blowing in the breeze. And it is indeed a good idea to look at these images for yourselves, because then a part of the iridescence of this light can be absorbed by your eyeballs and into your systems. So please do seek out these images for yourselves, dear ones. There are even some video footage pieces of this latest download of energy for the planet, for that is what it is. As your Earth crosses the galactic center and moves into a new band of photonic light, there is indeed new radiation that comes to the planet. Good radiation, my friends, not the bad kind. It is like when you sit in the sun on your beach and get a suntan. There is a point where it is beautiful and absorbing and healthy for your skin. The vitamin D's and all the lovely rays of light that hit your bodies is indeed a needed thing for your cells to regenerate and your system to recover. Of course, if you excuse me, of course, if you sit too long in this particular sunlight, then maybe you burn or whatever, but we are talking about a healthy dose. And this new radiation that we speak of, that the Earth is passing through, your solar system is passing through in its great pathway and journey across the galaxy is the good kind. It is always the good kind. So when you see it dancing and sparkling and waving in the wind, so to speak, of your auroras, whether they be the northern or the southern auroras, what you are seeing is the beauty of this good radiation. It is a special time on the planet, and I'm sure you can feel it. I'm showing Heather an image of a seesaw with this pivot point. I think we have spoken of this before, and it is very, very important, my dear friends, where your focus lies. Is it on the bad news or the good news, or the bad news or the good news? Now more than ever, keep your focus, keep your eye on the prize, as they say. Keep your focus on the bullseye. Keep your heart aligned with what is good for your soul. Even if there appears to be tower after tower after tower falling, as in the tarot. For indeed there are towers and towers and towers falling. But allow your focus not to be at the bottom of the tower where all the rubble and the chaos and the downtrodden, squashed plants and bricks and debris live. Look up above the tower, or where the tower was, and you will see the sky, you will see the diamonds in the sky, you will see the stars, you will see the light, you will see us, my friends. It is like when a tree falls, or you have to take down a tree from your garden and there is a space. For a while you notice the space, and you might be sad that the tree has fallen, or be glad that the diseased element has been removed and is no longer a troublesome burden. But you will notice the space. And in time you will plant something and it will grow and it will maybe fill some of that space. So don't be afraid of the space. Don't be afraid of this voidal time when you draw your attention and your focus and your energy from that negative spinning down the bottom of the tower, and you allow your gaze upwards, and you allow your energy upwards, and you allow your heart to soar above the clouds of the trouble and the turmoil and the towers falling below. Instead, allow yourself to be enlivened by the process. It is like when you clean out your Tupperware cupboard, so to speak. You might go, it needs doing. What a mess, when you're in the middle of it. I'm never going to get through this. And then you do, and it's wonderful. And there is an ease of use there because you have achieved your current goal of cleaning out. Shedding the old skin, as we will show you in the card to come. It is an important time of decluttering, disrobing, so to speak, of letting go of the old mantles, letting go of the old ways of seeing and being and doing and having in the world, and looking forward to the new and embracing that which is to come. It is time, my friends, and it is exciting. We are here celebrating with you, remember, in our colourful clothes and our colourful drinks, to make you smile and laugh and to remind you of the joy that is coming. This great turmoil of the last 2,000 years or so has been an accumulation of energies to be cut down like a vine that is taking over your beautiful garden, like your fairy tale of the Sleeping Beauty, where the prince cuts through the vines in order to get to the lady. Take that as a metaphor for cutting through the debris of the last 2,000 years of heaviness, getting to the beauty of the new earth to come. For it is not about a man and a woman in a fairy tale. It is about the destruction of the old in order to make way for the new. Ha, fairy tales. Ha. What a surprise, huh? Okay, we shall step back, for we could talk to you for a long time. But we shall step back and we shall allow Heather to continue with the cards. And we will, as always, come through again and again and again throughout this reading, and to remind you of your beauteous nature. Thank you again for joining us at the table. You are always welcome. You are always loved and honoured. You are always cherished. And remember, always, you can meet with us whenever you choose. Just ask us in, invite us in, and we will sit with you as well. With all our love. And so it is. Oh my God, they're so cute. I love when they come like full of colour. That's really cool. I remember doing, when I was doing, first started doing like professional readings in a shop kind of thing years ago. And I did a reading for a lady who had been raised with one of the religious, maybe Catholic or something, like, so it was quite a big step for her to come to see, you know, a clairvoyant reader kind of thing. And I don't remember all the details, but I do remember one of the sort of her saints or ascended masters or whatever came through and was really funny, like really, really funny. I don't remember whether it was Yeshe or St. Michael or Saint Germain, or I don't, it's showing me Saint Germain, so I'm guessing it was him. And she was really surprised because she'd been raised with this kind of belief system where, you know, the saints and the masters and stuff were all very sort of stoic and, you know, and all of the images, the pictures, the icons, the idolatry of them was always, you know, quite unsmiling and stern and stuff. And in her religion was, you know, it was always kind of punitive. You do this or else, you know, you get punished if you don't toe the line kind of thing. So when she came and sat with me and sat with us, she was a bit surprised to find that they were quite funny, you know, and lighthearted and, you know, making jokes and stuff. Yeah, it was really cool. And I remember her saying at the end, like, I'm going to have to, she was an older lady, like much, much older. And she was like, I'm going to have to change my perspective, you know, on who I thought these people were. I was like, yeah, man. Yeah, anyway, that story just popped into my mind. Yes, so funnier than you might think, which is cool. Okay, so the cards all make perfect sense. I'll drop them in because that's an easier way for you to see them, even though it's a bit more editing for me, but that's okay. So the first one is, I feel like I want to show you all three and then go through them. So the first one is Seer, S-E-E-R, see beyond the current situation. It's a lovely lady with sort of like a stereotypical mystic kind of lady, I suppose, with a indigo scarf and a purple crystal ball that she's gazing into. And the second card is Snake, and it says Shed Old Skin. This is the one that they wanted me to hold up for you when they were channeling through me a minute ago. And the third one from the Kyle Grey deck is High Priestess, Harness Mystic Power. It's got an Egyptian kind of goddess lady with an ankh and a black cat. And I just noticed Metatron's cubes and sacred geometry in the background as well. High Priestess. So as soon as I drew them, I'm like, oh yeah, that makes perfect sense. So part of what they're, part of what's happening with this new kind of radiation energy, thinning of the veil, raising of the consciousness of humanity, all of that kind of bizzo that's going on at the moment, is that you will probably find, and have probably found already, that your own personal psychic powers are increasing. Oh, I knew you were going to ring. Oh, I got you the perfect thing for your birthday. I knew you'd like it. Or, you know, just all of those things. Or I had a feeling to ring you and you were feeling down, or, you know, whatever it is, all of those things, the dreams, the intuitions, the feelings, the gut feelings, the saying the right thing at the right time, hearing the right thing at the right time, all of that stuff, that's you being on the path to spiritual awareness or awakening. And if you're not already on that path, you're having a fast track. And if you are already on that path, the volume's being turned up. I did a reading for an old client a couple of weeks ago, and this actually came up in the reading, towards the end of the reading. It was really interesting. I'd never heard them say it quite like this before, but I'll say it out loud, I suppose, when I'm working with someone. But something that I'd noticed, and we felt the need to voice it when we were speaking with her, was that, you know, when you're trying to explain something to somebody, and there's a moment where you can kind of feel when they understand. You know, it could be, you know, how to break an egg, or how to make a cake, or how the universe works, or it doesn't matter what the topic is, but you know, when you're trying to explain, and you can kind of feel when they don't get it, and then there's a moment, and they might even go, oh, or they don't even have to say anything, or do you know what I mean? You can tell when somebody understands what it is that you're trying to explain. I'm an ex classroom teacher, so your whole workday is predicated on that understanding. But you know, it's a common thing, I think. You know, that you go, oh, yeah, and you can feel when people get it. And they might pretend not to get it, especially if you're dealing with teenagers and they're trying to be a bit funny. But yeah, you know what I mean. Anyway, it's the same when I'm doing readings with people. Like, I can, you know, I'm channeling for them, and you know, you might be giving them, explaining to them a picture that you're being shown that's relevant for them, or whatever it is, and you can there's a moment where you can feel where they got it, where they get it, you know, and sometimes, you know, the spirit guides or whatever, they might just keep repeating the information or whatever, and then you go, okay, let's like, and you know, there's a point where you know that they've understood it, the point they're trying to get across. Anyway, all of that to say, that moment and that understanding, particularly in the channel, and particularly in the channel messages where people get it, it's happening faster and bigger and louder and clearer. Yeah. Does that make sense? I felt like that was a bit waffly. But all of that to say is, like, because we're talking about this sort of see beyond the current situation, and how the energy of the planet is increasing, and part of that is increased attunement. There you go, that's the word, thank you. Increased attunement to messages, to each other, to all the rest of it. And yeah, it's happening a lot faster and clearer and louder. And as a reader, I can feel that. You know, I can feel that they're getting it. It's like, yeah. I remember having a reading actually with someone years ago, and they were describing something to me, and it was almost like it's like a piece of cake, you know, it's like if someone's describing a piece of cake to you, and you can just about taste it. It's like when I'm describing things in the reading for my clients, it's like they're tasting more of the cake. Do you know what I mean? Like, instead of getting a piece of the cake, they're getting like the whole cake as an understanding. I don't know if that makes sense. I gotta trust that it does, because you know, I just go with whatever, you know, examples they give to me. You know, so, and because there's no immediate feedback, I've just got to assume that you understand what the hell I'm talking about. But yeah, I think you do. Yeah, everything's getting louder and clearer, and it's better. It's good. You know, like, we can go kind of faster through things, because you're like, oh, you get it, okay, good. Oh, you get it, okay, good. Oh, you get it, okay, good. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not a bad thing. Might seem a bit kind of scary and discombobulating if you're new to this. Oh, what do you mean you were thinking about me? Oh, does that mean something scary is going to happen? No, just tuning into your vibe and saying hello, you know. But yeah, it's good. It's all good. And part of that seeing further and seeing more and being able to see beyond the current situation, like this first card says, is shedding the skin, shed old skin, letting go of the ego, letting go of the need to control, letting go of the need to be right, letting go of old ways you used to see or be or have in the world. I'm reminded they said something like that in the first bit of the channel, or the first channel bit. let it go with as much ease and as grace as you can. I feel like I could talk about that for another 10 minutes, but I'm not going to, because we all know what that means, letting it go. High Priestess, harness mystic power. And this is really quite intimately connected with this first card of allowing for the increase in psychic development, basically, is what I'm going to say. So the more that you can allow this increase of energy, again, they're showing me the beautiful kind of northern lights or the aurora australis images. Beautiful. You must go and look them up. Particularly that last week in March. Yeah. Off the charts. Off the charts. And a lot of the photographers, some of them are professional photographers in this Facebook group that I follow. It's called Aurora Australis Tasmania. Some are professional photographers. There's a lot of amateurs there, but it's a really nice, supportive community. But a lot of them were saying they've never seen anything like it. They've never seen anything like it. And these like professional photographers that live in Tasmania, that aurora chase, so to speak. Like they've seen a lot of them, and I've been a part of that group for a couple of years now, and I've never seen anything like it. So yeah, pretty special time. So yeah, allowing that in, allowing your physical systems to upgrade with the planetary systems, to match, to align, to keep pace with what's going on. They're also showing me, I was watching a Pam Gregory video this morning, and she keeps talking about bare feet on the earth as much as you can in these times, and I agree, that's really important. And another thing I was reminded of, it was yesterday or the day before yesterday, excuse me, it was showering lightly here, and it hasn't rained, it's been really hot for ages, so I was like, yeah, it's raining. And I was going to bring the bin in or something like that, and it was raining, and I paused and I was like, oh no, that's right. I remember the messages from ages ago, and they were like, make sure that you expose yourself to sunlight, morning, noon and night, or get out under the stars, or let the rain hit your body. Like there was messages there from maybe last year sometime about the importance of allowing your physical body to be out in nature at different times and in different elements, and I really got that quite strongly when it was just raining the other day, and it hasn't rained here for a while. So I actually intentionally went and stood in the rain and welcomed it and allowed it in. So that message is coming in again here for everybody, is to literally allow your physical body to be out in nature and out at different times and exposed to different elements, whether that's sun or wind or snow or wherever you are in the world. But yeah, I can hear Pam Gregory's voice in my head, and bare feet on the earth whenever you can. Even if it's, if it's quite cold or it's quite hot, and you just take your shoes off for 5 minutes and put your feet on the ground, or put your hands on the ground, or whatever it is. But that's a really important element of being the bridge. And they're showing me rainbows. There's a rainbow bear that someone gave to me when I was in hospital on the other side of this room, and its feet are little stripy rainbows, and they're showing me its feet. It's quite cute. Yes, thank you for the present. It's like a rainbow bridge between the galactic energies coming in and the earth energies underneath us. We're literally in between these two big systems, and we are part of the process of allowing for the alignment of these galactic energies and the global energies. That's a big sentence. Yeah, nice. Yes, and being gentle and kind and loving to yourself throughout these processes. I was going to say this process, but they corrected me as I went. These processes. So, rest as much as you can. Keep up with your meditations, of course, because that's a big part of this, allowing the new vibrations in, of the increased, psychic abilities or intuitive skills, or whatever you want to call them. Interconnectedness is what it is. Meditation is key to that, and good food, good water, good rest, good sleep, good company. Align yourself with good people as much as you can. yeah, all of the, all of the good self-care stuff. Hug yourself, remember, self-love. Talk to yourselves, talk nicely to your body. We're, whatever percentage of water, 70, 90, 80%, 90-something% water, I think. Anyway, we're watery. Yeah, so, bless your water. Use your Reiki if you've got it. All of that bizarre. Okay, the last two cards. So this is from the Tree Magick deck. The first one I drew, number 46, the Alder tree? Alder. I don't know how to say that. A-L-D-E-R. Alder. I think we say Alder. I don't know. Anyway. And it says a challenge. That's why I was like, oh, I don't want more challenges. I'm going to draw another one. I'm going to read the words just to see what it says. Deserved victory can be measured by the obstacles conquered while attempting to succeed. See, I don't resonate with the words above the trees for some reason. But it's a lovely picture of an alder tree and its berries, fruit, and there's a lovely dragonfly, which they pointed out the dragonfly to me pretty much straight away. I'll drop the card in again over the video so you can see it properly. And the next card is number 10, the Damson tree, and it says rewards. That's why I went, challenge, but yeah, rewards. And the words above it say, the promise of future success brings fruitful pleasure and happiness. Oh, that's quite nice. And there's a bird in the tree. So again, it's in sort of flower and fruit. And there's a nice bird in this tree. So I feel like I want to read these two cards together. So I'll sort of hold them up / drop them in to the video together so you can see them properly together. They're laughing at me because I'm asking them what they want to say about these cards, and they're laughing at me. Oh, just dropped it. They're laughing at me because I was like, I don't want another challenge. And they're reminding us that there's, while we're here on Earth, there's still, there's going to be challenges, but they're reminding us to ask for help, ask for help, ask for help, ask for help, ask for help. Always, always, always. And again, that's part of the shedding of the old skin, shedding of the old ego, because maybe you were one of these people who are like, oh, I don't ask for help because I'm too independent. Excuse me. But, well, yes, you do, because you're interdependent. We all are interdependent. We all are interconnected with each other. So to not ask for help is kind of selfish. That's an interesting thing to say. You're not allowing those that you support, you're not allowing them to be leaned on. So there's no symbiosis, I knew someone once and they always paid for dinner or lunch or whatever it was, like always. Like you'd go to the toilet in the middle of lunch or something and you'd come back and go to pay the bill and they'd snuck up to the counter or whatever and paid. So, which was lovely, and it was a really nice gesture and, I was always very grateful for that. But it felt imbalanced after a while, like, because you sort of had to surprise them with, random gifts or whatever. Maybe that was my ego going, oh, I've got to balance this out or whatever, because they didn't care. But I think the reason they're highlighting that person is that symbiosis. There was a lack of balance there. Yeah, so allow, if you are the one that always pays, and the next time you go for lunch with your friend or partner or whoever it is, and they go, oh, I'll get this one, instead of going, oh, no, go, oh, yes, thank you, that'd be nice. And allow yourself to receive if you're always the giver, or allow yourself to give if you're always the receiver. Maybe you're the person that waits to be, looked after, or waits to be paid for, or waits to be, step up and give, like, balance is what they're saying, balance. And they're just reminding me of something. I think there's a full moon in Libra. They're showing me the Libra scales, and I was listening to some astrology, cosmology stuff the other day, and I'm pretty sure the full moon in April is in Libra. So this balance, and again, they're showing me the us humans being the bridge between the excuse me, the Earth energy, which is increasing, and the galactic energy, which is increasing. So, allowing that balance in your body, so enough sleep, enough water, enough good food, enough rest. And then we get rewards. And they're asking us to be mindful of not being too prescriptive around what those rewards might look like. I'll only be successful when I have this, or I'll only be successful when I have that, or I'll only be seen as successful when I have this, 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 and this, you know, lined up, my ducks lined up in a row, according to what society tells me I should at a particular age, or whatever it is. They're asking us to let go of that. Again, shedding the old skin, letting go of the old ego of what things should look like. And they're reminding me of how much is going to change, particularly with this Pluto cycle, how much is going to change in the next few years. So letting go of shoulds as much as you can would be a really good idea. I was trying to work the word should into that sentence just to make it funny, but I couldn't. That's why I paused. I'm like, I have to say would, otherwise it doesn't make sense. But yeah, so rewards are coming for all of us individually and collectively. And again, they're showing me the whole earth being in relief of this joyful new beginning, this wonderful harness mystic power that's coming in, you know. Oh, and they're pointing out the back of this card, which has lovely a tree in full fruit, and it's got like a pear, an orange, a blackcurrant, and a bird, and some flowers. Like it's everything's bountiful, is what they're saying. Everything is bountiful. So again, coming back to what we were saying at the beginning about keeping our eye on the prize, keeping our energy elevated, keeping us, you know, the Pam Gregory video I was listening to this morning, she was reminding us of the analogy or metaphor or whatever it is that she often uses about the turbulence down below when you're in a plane. Once you fly over it, pilot, unless you're a pilot, once the pilot flies over it, all of that sort of bumpy, jumpy stuff stops because you're above the turbulence. You're still flying above the same geography. I'll go sideways because it's easier to see. You're still flying over the same geography underneath, like the same situation is still happening down here, but once you get above it, it's smooth sailing, so to speak. So the way you get above it is through keeping your intention focused on the highest good as much as you can. So instead of going, oh, these terrible things are happening in the world, like be aware of it, you know, but then don't get emotionally engaged because that's going to bring you down and keep you spinning in a circle like a top at the bottom of this crumbled tower, instead of where we need you to be with your vision and your heart and your energy and your focus looking up towards, you know, new earth, new vibration, new hope and love and high integrity and compassion and benevolence and love for all. That's where your focus needs to be, instead of being down here at the bottom of the tower, remember. It's really important. It's really, really important. Now more than ever. Now more than ever. Where's your focus going at this pivot point? Pivot point of humanity. That you know, we haven't been at a crossroads like this ever on the planet before. You know, ever. You know, I know they were saying 2,000 years before, but that was kind of felt like it was a lot to do with the patriarchy and that kind of negative. I want to say neoliberal, even though that term's only been around for, you know, less than 100 years or whatever. But that, you know, top down, as Pam Gregory would say, top down governance is one of the big towers that's falling. So for us to step up and keep our eye on the prize for community engagement and community connection and all the rest of it is vital. Yeah, we are the first and only generation to live through the shift. You know, remember that. It's special. It's tricky because of that. We used to have to die to ascend to the same level of energy that we are coming into and have been experiencing for a few years now. So it's pretty special. And because of that, they're saying because of that, this is we are rewarded for that. We're not on our own. We're never on our own, ever. But particularly in times like this, you know, where it's challenging and there's wonky energy and, you know, all the rest of it. So please, 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 please remember to lean on your helpers, both human and spiritual. Yeah? And it's just a case of asking, you know, dear Spirit, please show me how, you know, give me guidance in my sleep or my meditations or my dreams or whatever it is. Like ask. Yeah, ask. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Is there anything else we want to say? Let's say no. That's plenty. Thank you very much. You're welcome very much. Yeah, take care of yourself. Hook into the astro, like listen to, for example, I know Pam Gregory's come up a few times in this video, but people like her who have, you know, high integrity and a lot of wisdom in the field are really good to tap into, or whoever you resonate with. But staying on top of that weather report, so to speak, is their sort of last piece of guidance for this coming month. Stay abreast of the news in that regard. Yeah, cool. Okay. Yeah, thank you for listening. Thanks for following along. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Share it with people who you think might benefit from this, whatever this is. Check out my merch. My new website's still being built. So that should be up hopefully in the next couple of weeks, ready to go. Fingers crossed. And yeah, that's all, I think. I have to go and open some windows because it's hot in here now. Yeah, thanks. And I'll talk to you next month. Much love. Bye.